Hello and welcome back. I thought I'd do a little bit of a test, to be honest. After the last few videos saying about clickbait and YouTubers and all that crap, I thought I'd do a test on you guys to see how many of you would actually click on just a normal thumbnail if I didn't make a clickbaity thumbnail. And because I think the fridge one was a little bit, well, it was and it wasn't, because setting fire to your back of your fridge is quite a big issue, but yeah, I think the thumbnail was a bit excessive. I'll see what you guys think, but yeah, let me show you around my van at the moment. Don't know if you can see all that, can you? My van is absolutely trashed. This is all my seat, which is normally here, and I've got an issue with my water pump down there, and I've just put this little bit of tissue on there to test it and see if it leaks. And the issue has been, let me just show you this thing. Oh shit, it's leaking. I put one of these on. Now I'm getting a bit wet. I put one of these on about 4 years ago because I didn't want to hear all that do noise from the pump. But recently it's got worse and worse, and I'm starting to get less and less water out the taps. So I don't know if it's a pump issue or whether it's one of this thing. This I've forgotten what they're called. It sort of equalises the pressure. So I've just taken it off, and whilst getting behind all this lot, as you can see, I've realised, look, underneath here there's been a little bit of a drip. Nothing major, but it's enough that if it gets any worse, that I could have an issue with damp and pipes rotting away on anything like that. So it's better to sort of fix it before it becomes a major issue. So yeah, I didn't make a big thumbnail to sort of pull you guys in, and I just wanted to see how many of you actually just clicked on the video to watch me, basically. So if you are here of your own free will, thanks for joining me. But I'm going to put all this back together again. I've got some soaking wet t-shirts. It's absolutely cooking outside. Let me show you the temperature on the van anyway. What is it there? There you go, 30 odd degrees, and just to it says 38 on that one there, and 30, 34. Oh no, it says 39 there, 39, but it's 34 at the moment, somewhere around there, 30 or 35 degrees. And I'm doing this. Really don't want to be doing it. I want to get it all put back together again. So I'll see you in a bit. Let me get this sorted out and I'll talk to you a bit. So I thought I'd talk to you about all the exciting things I've done today. It's been absolutely baking. Temperatures have been around about 35 degrees today, and keeping cool has been one of the major issues. I've had problems with me taps, me water. I'll show you that now. It's been a major improvement what I've done. A little bit dark in here. It's getting on for 10 o'clock now. Let's turn these lights on. Okay, so here's the water flow now. Now, as you can see, that's flowing really nicely. Before it was just a dribble, so I'm really impressed with that. Let's take you back over it. So, as I've said, van life can be pretty boring. So let me show you the view. This is why I'm here. And that's it for today. That's the view I've got. Yeah, van life can be pretty boring overall. So I've done a couple of little repairs. What I've been doing is sharpening my carving stuff. So this has taken quite a bit of work to get this sharp again. This is me spoon carving knife. So I've been working on that. I've got a bit of an obsession with getting things sharp. I like even meat axe to be paper cutting sharp, and when I say sharp, I mean literally scalpel sharp, sharper than a Stanley knife basically. Yeah, so that's taken me a couple of hours to get those sharpened up. What else have I done? So someone broke down outside, so I went and had a look at his car. Unfortunately, it looks like it's the injector, and that looked like it was unrepairable, and he didn't have breakdown cover, so he's dumped it up there somewhere, and gone home. He was on holiday from Doncaster, so he's got quite a way to get back home. I spoke to a couple of guys who was just down on the beach there fishing, and that's been it basically. I've been lazing around for most of the day. I took Dylan out on the beach for a little bit. I've got to keep him still. I'll show you his leg. He's got some sort of big fluid lump come up. Turn those lights back on, and you can see that. Look at that. It's all fluid. It's all soft and squidgy. He had it come up a couple of years ago, about two and a half years ago. It came up, and it went down really quickly. After about 2 or 3 days, it just all went down and disappeared. And there was a little bit of saggy skin there. I think it's where when he chases the ball, he sort of dips down to pick it up, sort of like goes down on one leg like this, and it puts a lot of pressure on his elbow. So I've got to try and keep him still. I had a problem with the fan. I've got a little fan to keep him. This is what I use to keep Dylan cool. So it's got. So I've put it wasn't spinning, and I've put a new plug on that. So that's all working. So yes, it's just been repairs around the van really. I haven't even had dinner yet. It's 10 o'clock at night. And it's been so hot today that I haven't even felt like having dinner. I've had a pack of sausages that I made into sausage sandwiches, and that's pretty much it for today. I've had a bit of a clean up, wipe the seats and tidy up after pulling them all out, and that is it. There's not much I can tell you really. Yeah, maybe I'll just film a bit more tomorrow and let you know what I get up to then. Right, so I knew there was something I wanted to talk to you guys about. I just couldn't remember what. It's this here. I don't know if you can see that. Alright, so Bristol Council, they've got a van life issue really. And I can see why. 650 vans all parked up on the Downs Road or whatever it's called. Anyway, in Bristol they've got a van life community of around 700, and the council want to do something about it. And their ideas are this, that they want to put up some permanent pitches, 250 permanent van life pitches that people can go to and stay at. Now you're going to probably say that's absolutely great, but I look at the pros and cons of things, and the way I see it is that if the council invest into toilets, shower facilities and pitches, I think these are going to be more long term rather than sort of transit between places. So these are going to be sort of aimed at the people that don't move too often. There's going to be a cost, and most people that get into van life and don't move very often are the people that can't afford to pay. And basically you're one step up from being homeless. Right, and for you guys that turn around and say, yeah, you should be made to use your camper van, you should be made to pay to park, have you thought that the people that are going to use these long-term council sites are the people that are one step away from being homeless? they've gone to van life because it's affordable. They can afford to live this way. You start putting on a cost for them to park there, to live there. They're going to be able to claim benefit for it. So the taxpayer is going to be paying for it anyway. So you've achieved nothing. The people that will be made to pay to park, once the council start charging to park, to park, you'd be able to claim a benefit for it, undoubtedly, because it's a living cost, like rent. So it'll be you guys that insist that we should be made to pay to park because we're getting it for free that will foot the bill for it. Quite funny, really. You want us to be forced to pay for it when we're saying to you we are one step away from not being able to pay for our own upkeep. You want to force us into paying, and it'll come back on you guys. It will come back on the working class people that will be forced to foot the bill. I can just about afford not to go on benefits. I am one step away from being on benefits. I can afford at the moment to live my life the way I'm living it. But if I'm forced to pay to park every night, I would have to go and claim something. I'd go and claim for housing or something like that. I'd have no choice. So have you guys thought of that? How does that sit with you guys? That you've forced me out of a way of my cheap living where I can fund my own life into a cost to the taxpayer. I bet you haven't even thought of that, have you? I'm the sort of person that moves around. I don't stay still more than, I don't know, 1 or 2 nights. I'm always moving all over the place. I wouldn't want to go to one of these places. I wouldn't mind going there if I was transiting between from here to there, if you get what I mean. Travelling around the country, that wouldn't be an issue. But I see that any council that makes any sort of facilities wants a income from that facility. And maybe it's not a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing. But I don't see the people that it's aimed at are going to want to use it simply because of the cost. And what will these costs be? How much will it be? So, yeah, what do you guys think of van life sites? So, tell me below your ideas. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? And I'll give you my thoughts. My thoughts are this. They are looking for a way to get an income from van life. Now, I get this in the comments below all the time. People say, or some of you think that I don't know what's going on, and you tell me that the councils and government are looking for a way of taxing van life. And yeah, I'm very much aware of that. So we have some issues with that. One is, what about the builder's van, the company van, the scaffolding lorry? If they're not made to pay to park each night, why should somebody that owns a motorhome be made to pay to park? This is more about, it's not van life getting, and a few of you have said, I want everything for free. No, I don't want everything for free. I don't get anything for free. Everything I do seems to have a cost to it. Even sitting here now, I had to pay diesel to get here taxed. Everything is taxed in life. There's no free, believe it or not. There's cheap, and that's what I want, cheap, because that's why I'm living in a van, because it's cheap. I don't want to be made to work for the rest of my life, having to pay taxes for somebody that is rich already. So yeah, what I see is that this is the start of the end of van life in general. Because once they find a way of taxing us to stay somewhere, which is like a transit site or a campsite or whatever, make us stay on a campsite, the same as what happened to us in Appleby, PSPOs will come into place and you won't be able to stop at all. Now, people have said, you just don't open the door. Well, in Appleby, if you didn't open the door, they towed your truck. And yes, some of you guys said they can't tow your truck if you're inside. Yeah, exactly. So they knock on your door, and if you don't open the door, they tow your truck because you're not inside. So the only way to stop yourself getting towed is that you have to open your door. Otherwise, your vehicle's towed away, and you've got a big cost of getting it out of the compound. So you've not looked at the bigger picture of the way things would go in general if this happens. So I don't see these sites as a good thing. I see it as a way of forcing us, knowing where we are for a start, and that seems to be a big thing with government at the moment, knowing who you are, where you are, what you're doing. The nosy government, which is one bad thing. Why would they need to know? If you're not doing nothing wrong, what difference does it matter where you are, what you're doing? And secondly, once they do find a way of taxing you, the taxes will just increase time and time again until it's unaffordable again, which is what's happened to the campsites. Campsites used to be affordable for motorhome and camper vans and caravans. Now they're almost priced out of existence. The normal people that used to go on camper van and caravan in holidays, motorhome in holidays, can't afford to anymore. It's now becoming a thing of the rich once again. It's the wealthy people that can afford it. The people that work all week to pay their bills and then have a day off here and there with the family in a motorhome or caravan. So yeah, I don't see it as a good thing. I see it as a bad thing, a way of forcing a motorhome owner, a camper van owner, to pay again. When the van, and you'll say, well, he's a van, it belongs to a company. And that's exactly why the company van should be made to pay, because they're making an income from it. They're a business. They get a profit from what they're doing. So why not make them pay as well? If you're the same size vehicle as a camper van, why shouldn't they all pay if that's the case? Why is it just the camper vans that should be made to pay to park? So before you guys all start shouting off your mouth and saying, oh, you should be made to pay, it then starts looking at Range Rovers, Land Rovers, because they're the same weight as this vehicle here, my camper van. Almost the same size, in fact. Maybe a little bit smaller, but it's not about the size, is it? Once you're parked in one space, you take up that space. Another vehicle can't park there. So who says that every vehicle shouldn't be made to pay to park? That's where this is going, isn't it? You start to force one person to pay, and then everyone has to pay. So before you start shouting your mouth off saying you should be made to pay to park, you need to think about that, because you won't get to park anywhere without paying. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Good thing, bad thing?